Hello again everyone, quite soon after my most recent video. I thought as promised I would give you a flip through of my Finchley and what I'm doing with it. It's very rough, it's still kind of in the making, but I'll give you a flip through just to kind of show you how I'm using it. So I've also realised that I am like over the top coordinated today. This was entirely accidental. I think I'm gonna have to change my shirt because this can't be happening. What is this? Anyway, this is the Filofax Personal Finchley. I've had this for I think about 12 years now, and this used to be just my daily planner that I'd take with me around in my handbag, but it just got a bit too small for me to move back into for this year, which is why I've got them ordered. But I'm so attached to this that I just couldn't bear to even sell it or give it to someone, and I just thought just keep it. Maybe one day I want to move back into a smaller planner, and I'm sure there'll be something that I'll find along the way to do with it. But obviously because I do have the main planner in the Morden, I don't want this to kind of be something that's kind of huge and overwhelming as a planner. This is going to be more just kind of like my practical home life planner. So I'll show you. It's very battered and old, which I actually kind of love about it. It's all scuffed. I've got the thread coming out here. But I love it, and I just find like these planners do just stand the test of time, and they actually become more lovable as they get older. Kind of like dogs, I suppose, and men. So I'll get into it. So the plan with this is the first half at the moment is currently like cleaning and home routines, and then the second half is for the food and stuff. So on my tabs I have calendar, which is just the monthly calendar, dailies, zones, which I'll explain in a moment, and then seasonal, cooking and meal prep. So I'll go through each one, give you a quick overview of how I use it. First one is pretty self-explanatory. Also, look at this mess. God, I know I shouldn't open the rings like that, I'm sorry. I got confused with the hole punch when I was making these dividers, and look at the state of this. I mean, I could not get this right. It's fine. I'm going to remake these anyway at some point. This was just like, literally, I put this together in like 4 hours one day. In kind of a panic. I've just been printing the calendars off for this one so far, because, you know, this isn't something that I'm going to spend huge amounts of time on each day. I just kind of want this as something to refer to and to kind of keep me on track. This calendar is from Soulshine Astrology. She's on Instagram, and she sends around a really great email every week, just kind of to do with like all the astrology stuff, and she sends around these calendars once a month, and they're so pretty. It doesn't really give it justice being so small, because I've had to obviously shrink it to fit in here, but it is so pretty, especially when you print it in colour. And she just kind of pops in there the full moons, the new moons, and like what's going on each day. It's just nice, and I actually used this as my calendar all throughout last year. But I still kind of actually wanted to use her calendar, because although I'm using the Filofax one now in the Morden, I really love this one, and actually it works well in here. And all I really use this for, I mean, this is so scruffy, so I mean, it is what it is. I literally just write down at the beginning of each week what zone I'm focusing on that day, or that week rather. So yeah, I've only done 3 months in here so far. So what I've done is, for my cleaning schedule, I've adopted the Fly Lady cleaning method. Now there are tons of other YouTubers out there who will explain this system in much more better detail than I can, but basically you split your home up into 5 different zones. So for example, I mean, you can change this according to what you have in your home, but like hallway, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room. Did I repeat any there? I'm not sure. And then once a week, you focus on one of those zones, and you spend 15 minutes a day, 15, 20 minutes a day, cleaning an area of that zone. So like, I'll show you in a second, you write out a list of kind of all the things you want to clean ideally as a deep clean in each of those zones, and you spend just 15 minutes a day cleaning that zone. You stop, and then you come back to where you left off the day after. if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I will link in my description all the lovely people that I've watched videos for to help me understand this system and how to make it work for me. Off the top of my head, Plans Meets Paper has a great overview, and she uses that system as well. And the Secret Slob also has some great videos, but there was a couple others that have just completely left my mind blank, so I will leave them in the description box so you can have a look at those if you're interested in adopting this system. Because for a long time all I've done is I've just like saved up deep cleaning a room once in a while. You know, something gets neglected for ages, I have to like clean the entire kitchen in one day sometimes. And I actually like the idea of actually just splitting up a room over a week, because then, you know, I can do 15 minutes a day of cleaning. And actually it's surprising how much you can get done in 15 minutes if you just focus solely on what you're doing, rather than being like, oh God, you know, mentally and emotionally preparing yourself to clean, you know, deep clean a bathroom in one day. Just, oh, it's just exhausting to even think about. Over the course of a week, I find that I can get my rooms done. So that's zones and the Fly Lady cleaning method explained as best I can. So this is what I'm doing with the calendar. I just write down what zone I'm focusing on for the week. I'm sure as time goes on I will actually utilise the calendar a little bit better. So that's the calendar. Dailies, so also with the Fly Lady cleaning method, she has a daily focus for each day. So I've switched the days around. She has her own schedule that she has on different days, and people adopt what they do on each of the days. So for example, a weekly home blessing that she calls it is just kind of like your basic housework that you do once a week. So change your bedding, dust, vacuum, mop, sort your rubbish out, change towels, that kind of stuff that doesn't take a long time, but it's good to just kind of get done in one day. She does hers on Mondays, I do it on Sundays, because Sundays has always been my housework day. And then on Mondays I do finances and filing. Tuesdays I do meal planning and getting a nagging task done. Thursdays I try to do my groceries, and whilst I'm out and about, do any other errands. And then Fridays, which is actually the same as hers, is tidy or freshen the car up, and tidy and sort out like your bags and purses. And then Wednesdays and Saturdays I just kind of have off so I can focus on other things. So if I have a couple days off a week where I can like put that time towards something else, mostly just staring at my phone, let's be honest. But yeah, that helps me. So she has her sort of zones and a daily focus, and that's how I've done mine. As you can see, this is, you know, kind of a scruffy setting out of my daily focus at the moment. I will redo these on an Excel spreadsheet so that I can kind of tick them off over a few months. But this was just me testing it out, testing out how this schedule might work for me and how this whole method of cleaning might work for me, and it is working really well. So I'm going to keep at it, but I will make all this a bit prettier in time. I also printed this out. This just seemed a bit fun. This is from the Secret Slob, just like a decluttering bingo. You know, when you sort of get an urge to tidy or clean something, you can pick something off of here and sort it out. So that's that. I did then actually buy a weekly diary here. So I'll just leave this on a plain one at the moment while I talk about it. So although I have the daily focus in my tabs up here, I kind of wanted to see what I was doing each day as well over time. And obviously you can see this is like a really compact diary, because I used to be, you know, a week on 2 pages and I like loads of space to write. This is kind of, if anything, more of a list based diary for me. And I mean, it's super scruffy, so I am sorry. There's nothing pretty to see here. I literally just note down what I did each day. If I did just like a 15-minute clean of that zone, or if I did something out of the ordinary of that zone. So every now and then, you know, I might have the zone will be the bedroom, but actually I clean my bathroom sink because it just needs it, that kind of thing. So started very, very ugly and simple, and then I've tried to kind of make it a little bit prettier so that I keep up with it and I can just see what I'm doing each day. Some weeks I just don't want to do anything. And with the Fly Lady, she says if that's the case, then just skip that zone for that month and move on to the next zone the next week. But what I found that I've done is sometimes I just need a break from worrying about cleaning the home, like deep cleaning the home. I'm still doing the basics, but so what I did is I had a week off and then I went back to the zone that I should have done the week before, and that's fine. That works for me because I couldn't stand the guilt of not deep cleaning my kitchen that week, so I had to do it. Pink is if I'm doing that actual zone, and then purple is just like more general stuff here. And you know, it's just scruffy and simple. That's just what I need it to be. So with this, I change this each week. So under zones, I write down here what my zones mean for me. So zone 1 is hallway, zone 2 is kitchen, and then I have bathroom, bedroom, and zone 5 is living room. So I wrote down on each of these sheets what I really want to get done if I was doing a full deep clean for each of these zones. And then during the week that I'm focusing on that zone, I just go through this. I start from the top and then just tick them off as I go through the week. So you kind of just start from the top of your list, and in 15 minutes one day you might get, you know, a couple of items done, and then the next day you'd come back and start from the 3rd item and go forward. And then sometimes, you know, you might not finish a whole zone in a week, so you will leave those unticked, and then the next time that zone comes around you would start from wherever you left off. But I've actually been getting all my lists done in the week, so I have been quite surprised at what I can get done in 15 minutes, and has made me really question a lot of my life choices, and what I'm doing with all the time in my life when I can get so much done in 15 minutes a day during a week. But anyway, this week was zone 3. These ticks were from the last time I went through this zone. I have actually done nothing this week. I just have not been bothered this week. I might just smush it all up into this weekend, which is, you know, not what the system is supposed to be, or I might just pause it and go again next week. But yeah, what I do is at the beginning of each week when I'm changing my zone, I pull out that sheet. I've done the same thing here with the holes. I've just like, so that they're easy to take in and out, and I'll just pull it from that zone, pop it into the week here so that I can tick off during the week what I've done. So that is that. This, like I said before, the first half here is just like housework and home admin stuff, and that's how I'm going to focus on this, because I found that like in the Malden, although there's a lot of space to write, I was just trying to put everything in there, and it was kind of stressing me out. And although I kind of didn't want 2 planners, I did want everything in one place. I'm also not in my mind thinking of this as an additional planner. This is more as a keep other stuff that doesn't really fit under a category in one place to just keep me on track. So that's that. The second half is my meal prep stuff. I was originally doing this in the Malden, but it was actually taking up a lot of space and it was getting a bit full, and it was just stressing me out a bit. And I just thought, well, I might as well use the last half of these dividers here to do this, and it's actually worked quite well. So if you remember with the Malden, I did originally put at the beginning of each season in my diary inserts what was in season each season food wise, and I've taken that out of the Malden now and I've put it in here. So the first divider here is seasonal, and I've just written down like winter, spring, summer and autumn, and what's in season during those times. And I will actually redo these again on an Excel spreadsheet, because this system here is actually working really well for me at the moment. These little dots mean here, I've been trying to incorporate the Ayurvedic practice of eating according to your body type. I'm not super strict about it because I eat what I enjoy eating mostly, but I try to focus on the things that are here because actually it's quite accurate, and most of the stuff here is actually what I would pick anyway whilst I'm food shopping. But this is what is particularly helpful for my body type. So what I've done with this is anything on here, on this list that is in a season, I've just put a dot next to it so that I can focus on eating those things as much as I can rather than perhaps the other things. But again, you know, I don't restrict any other things that I eat unless something gives me, you know, gut issues. Then I just eat as much veg and fruit as I can, but I just try to focus on those ones. So, oh, we're actually, oh, we are out of winter now. Goodbye. So yeah, I'm going to redo all of these in an Excel spreadsheet, because I'm going to tick off how many weeks in that season I incorporate those fruits and vegetables. Yay, spring. So this will be fun. So what I do when I'm doing my meal prep and just writing down what I'm going to have for dinners and lunches each week, I come to this page and just see what's in season, and I'll pop some of the fruits on my list and incorporate the vegetables that are on this list in my cooking for that week. And that's what I do throughout the year. So I do fruits, vegetables, and then often on the back, because these are quite small pages, just anything else. So mostly herbs, spices, particularly in autumn and winter. There was a lot of, like, let me see, yeah, there was more herbs and spices. Autumn is a good one, so much stuff in season. Now, I've also said one of my goals this year is to go through one of my recipe books a month and cook some meals for that. I tried to cook at least one new meal that I've never cooked before a week, just to keep things exciting. And I mean, I have so many cookbooks and never use them and eat the same things over and over again. So this year I've tried to make a deal with myself that, you know, eat the stuff that is easy and comfortable and quick for me to cook, but once a week, just take the time to make something really new. So in this section, cooking, I've called it, I just note down the cookbooks that I'm going to be using each month. So, I mean, we've only had 2 months so far, and I really focus on that cookbook rather than like putting out loads of different cookbooks and getting overwhelmed, because I found that was a barrier for me. I'm just going to focus on one a month, and then try as much as I can to have a new meal each week. And these are the ones that I've had up to week 9. I mean, I've missed a couple of weeks, but for the most part, it seems to be working. And then this paper here was just a couple of recipes I use very often, and didn't want to keep rifling through cookbooks and Instagram posts to find. So I think I've got some more to write down here. So, I mean, you know, this section isn't that big, but, you know, it's useful. And then the end bit is meal prep. So this is where it's not finished yet, but once a week, this is where I just write down what I'm going to have for dinners. I mean, my breakfast and my lunch kind of revolve around the same 2 or 3 things each day, so I don't really write them down, although I sort of make a note of what I can have with what's in my cupboards. And then the rest of the lists is just for during the week for my dinners. Although I do write the day of the week down here, it doesn't necessarily mean I do have that meal on that day. I like to have options, so, you know, if on a Saturday I fancy whatever I've put for a Wednesday, then I'll just have that. But I'll just tick off the meals as I go along. I just like to look at the beginning of a week of what I've planned up to, so that I know when I need to go food shopping. And I also leave spaces, days for like leftovers, because I don't like cooking every single day. As you can see, it's been working well so far, quite a few months in here, I think. I did used to have this kind of thing on my fridge, and sometimes I do also make a copy of this and pop it on the fridge. But for the most part, it's quite nice to just open this in the morning, check what's happening that day, you know, check over here what to focus on, and then I'll check what's for dinner, what I fancy, that kind of stuff. So this is for the coming week, so it's not quite finished yet, but yeah, this is just kind of an idea. So you can see here I've sort of got into a bit of pattern as well. I've been like a cook, a leftovers, cook, leftovers, cook, leftovers. Because although I'm at home all the time, I find strangely that my energy to cook has actually gone down, even though my time to do so has increased. But it's nice to not eat out of Tupperware still. This is just some spare note paper. So that's it really. You can see it's, you know, it's still a work in process. It's kind of ugly in parts. It needs some finessing and finishing off, and some weeks I'm lazy and don't do any housework because life is too short. but I do want to have a nice, clean and tidy home, so it is something I wanted to kind of be aware of and focus on. And I do recommend the Fly Lady Cleaner method if, like me, you just cannot stand having to do a deep clean in a room in a day kind of thing. And again, I'll link all the stuff that I've talked about in the description box below, because there's just so much fun stuff online to learn about the Fly Lady Cleaner method, and people will probably explain it a little better than me. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how I am actually using my very old planner, and it's working well because I just love it so much. I'm so emotionally attached to it, and I'm glad to just be able to finding a use for it for something. And in particular, the food bits and pieces is working really well for me. Hope you enjoy the little flick through. As this kind of gets a bit more tidier and there's a bit more order to things, and I've figured out how to really make it work, then I'll come back and show you when it's kind of more finished. Thanks for watching, and let me know as well, what do you do with your old planners? Have you kept them? Do you sell them? Do you repurpose them for something else? Do they just sit to be stared at lovingly on your bookshelves? Do let me know, because I do like to know what other people do with their old planners. Again, it's super great with the Filofax system because I can just pull pages in and out, particularly with the meal prep, especially seasonal food. Sometimes I'll look back through like my old planners and see what I ate at certain times the previous years and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that dish, or you know, oh yeah, that's a bit of an inspiration. Yeah, I'm going to stop waffling and change my shirt so I'm no longer Miss Matchy Matchy. But yeah, have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.